Thank you, Pablo. I didn't realize we were going to get involved with history tonight, but I will get involved with history a little bit later. I want to first acknowledge, as you saw in the videos or in the photos as Pablo was speaking, there are many pictures of the Blood Center celebrating events with the New York City Fire Department. And we have the commissioner here this evening, Dan Nigro. Dan? And Dan, I just want to mention to you that when one of your predecessors, Nick Scoppetta, stepped down as commissioner, which we hope you don't do for a long time, he did then join the board of the Blood Center. And so there's a great tradition, and the things that we do with the FDNY are amazing. And you saw some pictures of the ceremony we have every year, the Honor Roll of Life, where we bring together the recipients of bone marrow donations from the New York City Fire Department, which is, they donate 100 times more per capita than the rest of the population. And so, Dan, send our love back to the FDNY. Now, I also want to mention that I'm delighted to receive this award, but of course, as you can imagine, in any organization as large as ours and as successful as ours, I'm the fellow who gets a lot of the credit, but the credit really goes to our remarkable Board of Trustees, our senior staff led so ably and dynamically by Chris Hillier. Oh, there you are, Chris. And all of the staff and the volunteer leadership. And I'll give you a little background. I said I would mention the history. And I'll come back around to Pablo at the end. So the New York Blood Center was founded, as was mentioned earlier, in 1963. The idea to found it started in 1958. And the way the idea came forth was that the then governor, Nelson Rockefeller, a man who did things on a grand scale, found out that a relative had not come out of the hospital at the time he was expected to come out of the hospital, and he made an inquiry as to what had occurred. And he was told, well, he got bad blood. And so the governor said, well, where did they get the blood? They said, well, they buy the blood down on the Bowery. So the governor said, well, what do you think you're going to get on the Bowery? How can we have that in New York State? So with one sweep of the hand, he made it illegal to buy blood in New York State. And with the other sweep of the hand, he called his brother David and said, I want you to organize the corporate community so that we can have blood drives and have good blood for any New Yorkers that need blood. And that was the birth of the New York Blood Center. And of course, in Rockefeller style, they attracted the world's leading hematologist, Dr. Aaron Kellner, to lead the institution and our research. And research from day one was an integral part of the mission of the New York Blood Center. And as time went by, we had many firsts, and we're really the world leaders and acknowledged to be so. In fact, keep in mind, 1960s, the early 60s was not that long after World War II. And because of Dr. Kellner's fame and the gratitude that Europe and the UK felt towards the US, until 1992, when mad cow disease struck and made it illegal to have blood from Europe, these countries sent the New York Blood Center 100,000 units of blood a year. So that shows the prominence that we had. Of course, that was a bit of a hill to climb in 1992 when we could no longer use the 100,000 red cells that we got from abroad. So one of the things, the great gifts that Aaron Kellner gave us, is he recruited Pablo Rubenstein. So Pablo is the man who gave me the award, and he said many overly generous things about me. but certainly many of them apply to him. And so it's my privilege to work with Pablo to endorse and support his vision to make sure that we do better for people all over the world, but especially in New York. So that's what we do. We do it every day. And I want to thank each and every one of you for supporting us in the so many ways that you do. And as I look out at the audience, I see the people from the New York Blood Center who I've worked with for more than 20 years. I see friends and relatives. I see the corporate community that supports us. And one thing to remember about the Blood Center, it's something that also brings the community together. Because while philanthropists can write checks, everyone can give blood. And so everyone can support the community by giving blood. Our motto is give blood, save a life. And we saw such a wonderful young lady this evening as a perfect example of that. So thank you all for coming, and we hope to see you again soon, and thanks for your continued support.